What's going on? It's Art of Cards TCG. It's Friday morning, and we're going to be talking about big movers in the both English and Japanese market right now. Doing a little funky stuff right now. It's kind of interesting what cards are moving right now, but you can kind of tell why. You can kind of read the writing on the wall, if so to speak. So this is from TCG Player. Biggest Pokemon movers and shakers of the week, 429. And it's a lot of older stuff. If we get past here, this one they have on here, the Sprigiato, which arguably is probably one of my favorite artworks out of Paldea Evolved from an illustration rare standpoint. It's, has all the cuteness and all that stuff. Very vibrant, very bright. So to watch, I would say 2 months ago be at 18, spiked a bit during that illustration rare spike, kind of came down, and it's making its way back up, 23.59 right now. Honestly, if you got this card and you haven't sold it, holding on to it, I would hold on to it. From a market standpoint, it looks like these cards seem to be holding the value, the Spriggy at least. Not like the Drowsy, which was kind of a pump and dump situation. So the Sprigiato, probably hold on to it a little while. Get it graded if you want. That's always nice to preserve, especially if you get a 10 and then your, value just kind of skyrocketed. So, blurb here. This doesn't move the needle much as far as the set Paldea Evolved is concerned. Really, it's a standout in its own way among recent sets. It has one mega expensive card, the Magikarp, which is hovering around the 210 and falling from peak 270. It was crazy 2 months ago. Good card if you can get it in a 10. But nothing else in the set is worth more than $70. So Paldea is like crazy, because there's a lot of underrated cards in there. The Raichu's insane, right? This is such an insane artwork. Sleeping Pokemon, that's huge right now. To be only $68 and the Magikarp for whatever reason, it's cool. It's cool artwork. I love the Gyarados in the back and stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong, but for it to be like 3x the price of the Raichu, that's insane. Iono, really cute too. Trainer here. Honestly, I don't know why that's still under $100. And then if you look at this Glaceon that they're referencing from the Evolutions, that's about a 5 to 10% drop in price. You're seeing those drop, not because I think there's more of them, because people are just not interested in getting this set for over MSRP and then having to buy one of the Evolutions for an insane price. I mean, I get it. I'm not going to buy one of those. If I pull it, I pull it. If I randomly come across Prismatic in the wild, absolutely. Am I going to pay over MSRP for that stuff? No. And I don't think you should either, because the hit rate's so atrocious to even get one of these, any of the Evolutions, that, why even waste your money when you can get something like Paldea Evolved that has maybe not the most expensive cards, but some really cool cards that are a little easier to acquire. I haven't pulled the Raichu, unfortunately. I wish I had. The illustration rares in Paldea Evolved, the big ones, like the Magikarp, the Raichu, the T-Tar, they're actually pretty hard to pull comparatively to one of the SIRs like Iono and stuff. So I'd steer clear from that. This is another big one right here. I pulled this card a few times, the Tinkaton EX. Making some moves. I sold it around the $30 range. It dropped, and then it's just kind of backed up and came back up to $3 more than what it was. Honestly, I think it's a really cool, like, watercolor type pastel artwork. I think it's super cool. Tika Mitsumo is a very good illustrator, and I enjoy their artwork. But, we're getting into like some older stuff, a little older, not like ancient, but these tag team cards are going absolutely nuts. The Eevee and Snorlax GX, which honestly is super cool card. If you can see right here, it's just on an upward trajectory from, the middle of last month just boop and just continue to rise as the new set intended to come out here with ZA and the return of black and white Pokemon and megas and things like that. You're starting to see some of these cards with artworks from that era kind of explode, especially Mega Pokemon. Like I said it in a previous video, I got a Gardevoir, Mega Gardevoir from Steam Siege, like the full art chase or whatever. I don't know, whatever it is, for like $30, and now it's approaching $70, and that was a month ago. I got it right before it blew up. A lot of big cards in Tag Team, a lot of unaffordable cards for the common consumer. This one I think is a little on the higher end of purchasing, but if you can get a very, very good copy with a good centering and a good shot at a 10, I think it's worth the $55 if you can get it there and get it back as a 10, because you're going to see that value kind of increase exponentially as well. Vileplume GX, another Cosmic Eclipse, late 2000 teens. Vileplume, not even like a crazy artwork. It's just Vileplume and Erica. And I know Erica is a favorite among the trainers, and Vileplume is also somewhat of a favorite because of Erica. And this card is just on an upward trajectory this entire time from the beginning of February when you were getting it for $44, and now we're up $20 to $65. It's huge. Again, another card, if you can get it in a 10 contender, probably would pick it up. In my opinion, that's something that I'm currently looking at. It's hard to find them in 10, or it's hard to find them as a 10 contender, just because the quality control was just not that great, and the Cosmic Eclipse and Team Up and all that stuff. Like, they're just cut off with those little, really, really small borders. It's really tough. If we keep going down, this is a big card, and I'm absolutely buying this one. I'm probably going to buy this today after this video. The Mewtwo GX from Shining Legend. I know Shiny Legends has some insane cards that you can pull. In fact, the next one's the big one. But this is a really affordable GX, really affordable Mewtwo. Really cool. I think, again, if you can get this in a 10 contender, $22 is very good to get on these cards. The prices are starting to rocket a little bit. As we see, there is like a lot of attrition in the market right now for current products. Not a lot of people are really interested in opening up Journey Together at over MSRP, so you're seeing a lot of that come way down. The artworks are really cool in Journey Together, but I just think that it's kind of not with Destined Rivals coming up and the implementation of like basically all the chase cards are a Team Rocket variation. You're gonna see Journey Together very much like Stellar Crown right before Surging Sparks. It's just not that hype. Destined Rivals would be crazy. Just because even though it's not called the Team Rocket set, it's Rocket's Pokemon. And so therefore it's going to do that. And the chase in that is Giovanni and Mewtwo. So we're seeing spikes in Mewtwo cards because of that. So I'm probably going to buy this today. If we go down, and then this is the big hitter from Shiny Legends. It's kind of stayed right around that 360, 370, 380 range right here. About a $20 increase from the middle of March. This is a very expensive card. Again, if you can get it in a 10 contender and you're in the market to spend $400 on a card, this card has huge, huge potential to return. A high risk, high reward. This is low risk, medium reward, right? So I'm going to go with the low risk, medium reward. But there's some people out there, they got the cash dollar bills, and they're going to be spending the money on this or buying Shining Legends packs to try to open it. Honestly, I wouldn't try to open it. You're going to spend a lot of money, a lot more money than just trying to get it in as close to mint as possible. Not near mint. Near mint's, 7 to 9. That's near mint. So when you get something that's near mint, the expectation is that it's going to grade between 7, 8, and 9. There's a chance at a 10, small chance. But if you can get it as close to the 9 to 10, and as far as the condition, you can get mint. So a lot of people confuse that, and their expectations of near mint is I'm going to get a 10, and that's just not the case. That's the last card on this list. We'll move over to Japanese. Japanese doing some weird stuff. Drink my coffee. Doing some weird stuff. So Japanese is absolutely shaking the world right now, and I think because like a lot of these older sets we're about to look at, they're more available. You get booster boxes for about half as much as an English set, so people are getting that, and now that's driving up the price of these cards. They're becoming more sought after. This first card right here, the ancient fossil Hitmon Lee, is, it's a pretty cool card, but as this person puts down here, there's nothing inherently special about it. It's just the fact that the Japanese printed cards, the foiling is just better. It really is. The quality control is better. That's why the value of the 10s are not as high in Japanese, is there's just more of a population of either they raw card or them in 10s, because the quality control is so good. Like, you're going to get them with like 50 centering on front and back most of the time. That's why, my evolutions from Prismatic, for the most part, are not wildly expensive, because there's just a high population of them in 10s for now. I mean, we'll see as the market moves on and time moves on, those cards get lost, damaged, and things like that. And if you held on to something, I mean, the value's going to go up. Like my Dark Charizard from the Japanese Team Rocket set, it's just continuing to go up because Japanese actually has the glory of Team Rocket versus English didn't, and they did that on purpose to try to bring down the demand, not realizing just changing that name is not going to help when your whole lineup of chase cards are Team Rocket cards. So I don't think it'll affect the English Rocket set too much, but Japanese should be affected in a positive way, the classic vintage, because they actually have a new named set, Team Rocket. So this VMAX Climax is kind of seeing some jumps here too in their cards. Pretty interesting, because VMAX Climax, I feel like is it's an easier set to hit these cards in. So to see them, $25 and come up about $6 right there, I'm not really a fan of that card, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on. I do like the Chonkachu, and we know this card, right? This card is pretty famous as a chase for the set in English, but in VMAX Climax, also somewhat of a chase. But if you look at it, the price is half as much, and that's because it's easier to pull it, of course. But this character secret rare with red right here is so cool. So cool. This card has a high potential to continue to grow, because VMAX Climax is I don't want to use the word dying, but I'll use a dying set, as in there's not many seeds left out there to keep planting. So same thing you're going to start seeing with a lot of the Sword and Shield stuff. I think, Fusion Strike's doing the same thing, because like as the inventory clears up, the cost of the raw cards or the product go up, because there's a premium on it not being available to you. I love that card though. Chonkachu is awesome. This one I found interesting, the Skelleridge from Triple B, which is was it SV base? No. Paldea Evolved, maybe, I think this is in. It's not a $32 card in English. I believe this is a more expensive card than the English version. Which is interesting to me, because typically Triple B is pretty good for hit rates, as far as like how often that you can hit cards, and their SARs are, some of them are not easy to hit, and I don't know if the Skelleridge is that reason. That's why it's up rare, starting to get up in the $32 range, $33 range. And this individual, claims that it's going to be around that $40 range. whenever we get to a low stock on TCG Player. If we scroll down, the Altaria EX from Future Flash, not one of my favorite sets to open. I do think this card is very cool from an art standpoint. Super affordable. Also, even though it's up there quite a bit, and it's been on the little bit of a taking a shot to the moon here, but and the market's that list medium's crazy. I hate to see it when it's way over market, and that's because the inventory is low, so they kind of have a capitalization over that. But if you're a big Altaria fan, absolutely would be cool. Not for me. This Mew is a lot more affordable than the English version. I think it is just as hard to hit though too. I've opened probably 10 boxes of shiny treasures, and I have not hit the Mew out of it. I was getting shiny treasures when it was $45 prior to Christmas, and so I got like 10 of them to do on a stream. Nobody wanted to do the stream, so therefore, and I just started streaming like on Whatnot or something, and people were just, I had the pack set at like $5. I think that was the market value. People just wanted for $1, so I'm like, nah, I can't do it. I literally can't do that. Just the cost incurred to me would be so high. And I give deals when I do stream constantly, but like I can't spend $450 and only make 200 or less. So it's a tough game out there, and I get it. I get you want the deals. I understand it. I also want the deals, but I ended up just opening all those packs myself, getting a few cards, but not this Mew, which sucks because arguably it's one of my favorite Mews. This Mew and the gold one from Celebrations is such a really cool card. And any of the Wizards of the Coast era Mews are always my favorite, especially the promo. If we keep going down, we got this one is an interesting one too, because the English version of this card is only like $56. Again, Rule of the Black Flame, I was getting that for like $32 for the longest time. And I've hit this in English, but I have never hit this in Japanese. And I've opened up Rule of the Black Flame probably 10 boxes as well. I've opened up a lot of packs and haven't hit. I've hit just about everything else except for this Charizard. Now, this Charizard, for whatever reason, is not a loved artwork. I love it. I think it's amazing. And I love the Paldean Fates version of this, or Shiny Treasures. The shiny version of this with a slightly different artwork for the Charizard itself, but basically the same style. Completely underrated. It's a big card in Japanese. In English, not so much. Not yet, at least. Not until, maybe Obsidian Flames, the reprint scare that isn't working at all, dies off, then the prices will start to go up because they're actually not going to be reprinting that. But that's going to do it today for this Friday video of what's going on, the biggest movers in the market. We'll probably be doing this every Friday. I like to take a look at the cards, take a look at what I'm potentially going to buy, things like that. Remember, this Mewtwo is a good buy. I do agree on this one. I am going to buy this card because it's kind of making some moves. I do like it. I'm going to try to get it as a 10 contender. From the Japanese standpoint, there's not really anything here that I don't currently have or have had that I've got rid of. I do want this Mew EX, but I don't know if I'm going to buy it, or I just buy some boxes and run a video back, do it. I think that's funner than just buying the card outright, because it isn't just investment to me. It's also the love of the cards, and some of them I keep. Like this Mew, I'd probably get it slabbed up and keep it and put it on, my display or something, just because I love it so much. But that's going to do it. I'm Articard CCG. This is Friday Market, and I hope you have a good weekend. I'll see you on the next one.